second edition of the Social Studies Civil War vlog. This week, I would like to start by discussing a quote from Frederick Douglass. It follows, "Any attempt now to separate the freedom of the slaves from the victory of the government, any attempt to secure peace to the whites while leaving the blacks in chains, will be labor lost." There are many different ways to interpret this quote. I interpret this quote as Frederick Douglass stating how he didn't think any white person would fight the Civil War for the slaves or cared about the slaves. Also, he didn't think anyone in government would try to keep the slaves safe or help them if it upset the white people. I don't think that the war could have ended without the freeing of the slaves because the North probably would not have had enough soldiers and lost the war. So anyways, this week's major topic that we're going to be discussing is, could the Civil War have ended without the freeing of the slaves? And of course, in time, the Civil War would have had to end. You couldn't just keep killing and killing all the people. Eventually, everyone would just die out. But another side of the argument is all the people were fighting for different reasons. And so most of the people in the South were fighting because they needed their slaves to help them continue to live their lives. Otherwise, they've had to totally restart their lives and find a new way of living. While the people in the North were more focused on just trying to keep the United States together and not have two different countries. And so, if the North had ended the war and they had won supposedly and gotten back together with the South, I think the South just would have declared war on them again and again. And so I think the freeing of the slaves helped end the war a little faster because then many slaves joined the Union Army. And however, at the time, many white soldiers decided to leave the army because they didn't want to fight with black soldiers. But the black soldiers brought many different battle strategies, and they all had different strengths from the white soldiers. And so, also, if they hadn't freed the slaves from the North probably wouldn't have won. And if they had lost, then we probably wouldn't be living in the same country today. We might even still have slaves. Also, if you can remember in the last vlog, we talked about whether or not the Civil War was justified. My argument was that the Civil War was justified. And I think this is just another reason why it was justified. Slavery was bad and it needed to end. This added on top of everything else made the Civil War justified. Thanks for watching. See you next week.